Have you ever stopped to think about why having more money doesn't always make you feel, more secure or happy? Today, we're going to look past the bank account and dive into the fascinating and sometimes really frustrating psychology behind how we think about wealth. Let's get into why our brains are wired this way.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're listening to someone else's problems and thinking, wow, I wish that was my biggest worry. It's just such a powerful reminder of that constant social pressure and the real anxiety that money, or the lack of it, can create. So that brings up a big question. Why is it that even when we technically have enough, we're still left wanting more? This isn't just about being greedy. There are some really powerful psychological forces that can lock us into this never-ending cycle of wanting.
Seriously, think about it. You buy a new couch, and suddenly your old rug just looks sad. You get a new shirt, and now, well, you obviously need the matching shoes. It's something we all experienced, but have you ever really wondered what's going on in our heads when that happens?
Well, it actually has a name. It's called the Diderot effect. It's this idea that getting one new shiny thing that doesn't quite fit with the rest of our stuff can send us into a total tailspin of upgrading everything around it. All of a sudden, we're dissatisfied with things we were perfectly happy with just yesterday. And that's the key word right there, spiral. It's a cycle that just keeps feeding itself. Every single purchase we make, hoping it will bring us that final bit of satisfaction, actually just ends up triggering the desire for the next thing and the one after that.
And this constant hunger for more isn't just about stuff. It can have really deep psychological consequences, sometimes turning everything we assume about wealth completely upside down. In fact, research from Psychology Today shows that affluence can bring its own set of very serious problems. You see higher rates of depression and anxiety, often driven by intense pressure and feeling isolated. It's almost like a different kind of Diderot effect, where chasing wealth creates a whole new set of problems, proving that money is definitely not a substitute for well-being.
So this brings us to how wealth is actually displayed in the world, because it's not just about what you own, right? It's about how you signal it. And right now, there are two very different performances going on.
On one side, you've got loud luxury. You know what I'm talking about. Huge logos, flashy items, things that basically scream, I'm rich. But on the other side, there's quiet luxury, which is really just a rebrand of stealth wealth. Here, it's all about subtle signals. No logos, but the specific cut of a coat or the quality of the fabric is an instant giveaway, but only to those who are in the know.
And this quiet trend is absolutely exploding. Check this out. After the show Succession ended, which was famous for its logo-free billionaire fashion, Google searches for quiet luxury shot up by an insane 1,250%. That shows a huge cultural shift away from showing off. This quote from the designer Brunello Cucinelli, it just gets right to the heart of the whole strategy. That crazy high price for a simple t-shirt isn't just about the quality, it's a filter. It's deliberately designed to create exclusivity, making sure only a very, very specific group can even play the game. And here is where it gets really ironic. Gen Z, where nearly half of them are living paycheck to paycheck, is one of the biggest drivers of this trend. They're all over social media romanticizing the hashtag old money lifestyle, but since they can't afford the real deal, they're fueling this massive market for cheap knockoffs, or dupes. So they're actually supporting the fast fashion system they often criticize. It's a wild contradiction.
Now, this whole performance of wealth and value isn't just about clothes. It's also about how people present themselves online, and it can be heavily gendered. There was this fascinating study of YouTube reviewers that found men and women often build trust or authenticity in really different ways. Male-dominated tech reviews, they tend to focus on external expertise and logic, and a lot of the time they don't even show their face. Meanwhile, female creators in the makeup world rely way more on personal stories, vulnerability, and being physically present in almost every shot.
All right, so this leads us to the core idea of stealth wealth, which is really more than just a fashion trend. It's a whole mindset. It's not just about looking a certain way. It's about feeling so secure that you don't need to look any particular way at all.
So, what do these truly secure people do differently? Well, for one, they're not trying to impress anyone. Their focus is completely internal. They find real joy in simple routines, they value what they do in private more than their public image, and they let go of comparing themselves to who they used to be.
Okay, but let's talk about a really tough one. Reaching some financial security can bring on this totally unexpected challenge, dealing with family and friends who suddenly start looking at you like you're the solution to all their money problems.
This simple story, which was shared on Reddit, just captures the dilemma perfectly. It's called the little red hen phenomenon. You did all the work. You grew the grain, you baked the bread, but now that it's done, everyone feels like they're entitled to a piece. It just really highlights the emotional weight of trying to say no. So what do? How do you protect your own peace? You have to set boundaries. Be direct, but also be kind. It helps to have a go-to phrase to shut down those awkward questions. Something like, what an odd thing to ask. You can offer help in other ways that don't involve your wallet. And most importantly, always remember, your finances are your business.
Okay, so let's pull all of these different threads together. We've talked about how the hunger for more is a trap, how wealth is often just a performance, and how true security is really an inside job.
When we hear the word wealth, our minds immediately jump to one thing: stuff, material possessions. But, as we've seen, the chase can also create deep social isolation, and it is absolutely no guarantee of psychological well-being. These things, possessions, isolation, and well-being, they don't automatically come as a package deal.
And I think that's the real takeaway here. True wealth might just be a state of mind. It's not about a number in your bank account. It's the freedom to just opt out. The freedom from that endless, exhausting game of social comparison. The freedom to define what success means to you.
This quote from Mother Teresa just brings it all home, doesn't it? It reminds us of what's really essential. While we're out there chasing material security, our deepest, most human needs are for connection, for love, and for acceptance. And those are the very things that money can't buy.
So, that's where we'll leave it. I want you to think about this. Beyond all the trends, all the pressures, and all the expectations from other people, what does a truly rich life actually look like for you? It's a question worth asking yourself.